Hey, what's up? Are you still with me? Are you still on this homesteading journey? Is everyone who started with you still there with you? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Hey, chicken peeps and homestead peeps. This is Alan with Me, You and the Chickens Farm. And I want to talk to you a little bit about homesteading and why most homesteads fail. There's three main reasons why homesteads fail. One is the lack of patience. The second is the lack of cooperation. And the third is the rejection of the idea that the homestead is a business. And that's absolutely true. Let me grab my coffee here. Reason number one, the lack of patience. And I want to use this fig tree here as an example of why you need patience when you're homesteading. You know, your trees are going to take time to actually grow. It's going to take a few years for a fig tree to grow large enough that it's producing lots of fruit. So you're going to need patience to allow that tree to grow and bear fruit. And your homestead is just like a tree. It needs time to grow so that it can actually bear fruit for you and your family. No homestead is going to happen in an instance. That's completely out of the question. A lot of times you watch a lot of videos on YouTube and you're seeing homesteads that are a finished product, but you can start anywhere. But you need patience. And you absolutely do need patience. That's something that you can't do without when you're homesteading. Now, let's move on to the second thing, and that's the lack of cooperation. Some people, and I see a lot of I've witnessed a lot of homesteads being started with the number one issue, the lack of patience. The second is, it's a close second. It's actually a close first, and that's the lack of cooperation. You know, the go it alone spirit. You know, I'm going to do all of this on my own, or I'm going to do it regardless of what anyone else is doing that's in my family. Most homesteads, you need cooperation. You need more than just one person. You're going to need help because it's a lot of work. And particularly if you're just getting started, you're working a job, and you're starting your homestead, somebody's going to have to pick up the slack. You know, it's not easy to homestead, and depending on what you want to do, it's going to require a lot of work. So if you have someone that's willing to help, get that help, and get help from the community. Don't try to go it alone, because you're going to need help and participation of the community in order for your homestead to work as well. So remember that cooperation is important. So you need patience, you need cooperation, and thirdly, while a lot of homesteads fail, don't neglect the fact that farming is a business. What are you producing? Are you raising chickens? And what are you using those chickens for? Are you just using the chickens just for eggs for your family? Does it make sense? Does it make financial sense to raise chickens? for eggs? Are you growing fruit trees? How much of those fruit trees, after you actually, the initial cost of a tree is pretty small compared to the time that you're going to put in. But you want to make sure that those trees are going to produce, and then what you're going to do with that fruit that the tree actually produces. Are you going to can the fruit? Are you going to make jams? Are you going to dehydrate the fruit? Are you going to freeze dry it? How are you going to make sense of your homestead? How are you going to make sense of your farm? And don't neglect the fact that the homestead is an actual business. That's the key thing. You can actually go back to another video that I did a year or so ago talking about the fact that a homestead was actually a business. Here on Me, You, and the Chickens Farm, as the title and the name of our farm suggest, we are a small homestead hatchery. So we actually breed chickens, various chicken breeds. We hatch out the babies and we sell chicks to the community. And we specialize in various breeds, and they are heritage breeds. So these are breeds that are going to breed true. Some of these breeds are well sought after breeds, and we continue to do that. And that's a part of our homestead business. The other part of the business is I propagate trees, and I offer trees to budding homesteaders, people who are just trying to get started. Fig trees, star fruit, June plums, Barbados cherries, things that will flourish here in our local area. So again, do not neglect the fact that your homestead is an actual business. That's something that will hurt you in the end, and that's something that a lot of homesteads are failing because of the fact that they are neglecting the idea that the homestead is a business. I know. You gotta love it. People love them, but it becomes very expensive. You could throw a lot of money at a homestead. Now, you could absolutely throw a lot of money at a homestead, but that is not going to ensure that it's actually going to work. Throwing money at the homestead could vary. It could be you put a whole lot of money into chicken coops. It could mean you put a whole lot of money into housing for your animals. That is not going to ensure that your homestead is going to last. Knowing the one important factor that your homestead is a business is what's going to ensure that your homestead lasts. So, with that, remember, not all homesteads last, but your homestead can last if you have patience, if you work together, and you remember that a homestead is indeed a business. It is indeed a business. And we wish you the best of luck with your homestead dreams and your homestead ideas here for Me, You, and the Chickens Farm. Take care.